Well, good afternoon. This is Mike Poore, and I have a very special friend and guest with me today by the name of Abigail Edwards. And Abigail, tell us what grade you're in and what school do you go to?
I am in 5th grade and I go to Gibbs Magnet Elementary School.
And so right now we're in her library here at Gibbs, and we thought this would be the natural place because this is really a first, that Abigail is going to be the first of hopefully many other students getting to make recommendations to me about their favorite book, and then we're going to make it so that everybody who makes a recommendation, that not only does your school library show your picture and saying that you picked this book, but all the school libraries and the children's library at the Hillary Clinton Center. So Abigail, you're the first, and I guess people are going to say, well, how did this happen? So you and I got to meet really officially for the first time in November. And do you want to just tell a little bit about, you came up to me, didn't you?
Yes.
And what was your thought? What were you thinking when you came up to meet me?
I was thinking, hopefully he won't reject my idea, and it could be a thought, and I wasn't really thinking that all of this would happen. I just thought it would have been a thought if they didn't have a book already. But since they did, this happened.
So it was kind of her concept was, I wanted to be a part of One District, One Book. You've been doing that, it sounds like, your whole life of reading those One District, One Books that we do, huh?
Yes.
So she's been reading it, and she came up with a suggestion, and she came up to me just confident. And you know what? We all ought to listen to kids, because sometimes they have really good ideas, and she did. And I kept thinking, what can we do? And so Abigail, you brought up a book to me. How did you first find out about this book?
I found out because I went to our summer camp at the summer program at our school, and for going there I got like a reward something, and they just came with 4 books, and one of them was Wayside, and I read and I was very interested in it, and it was funny.
So the book is called Wayside. I'm going to grab, there's a whole series of these books, it looks like, huh?
Yes.
So there's a whole series, and we stole some from the library here just to kind of showcase it. But out of this series, what was your favorite book, and why was it your favorite?
The Sideways Stories, because the kids kept having to figure out how to get rid of their subs because they did not like their subs.
They didn't like the subs, huh? So this is really in a school setting then?
Yes.
And when you started to read the book, was there other things inside the book that kept you want to keep reading it and keep turning the pages?
Yeah, because it was like all the kids were getting sick of tired of the sub because their teacher got pregnant and she had to leave. So then it was one sub, Dr. Fickle.
That's a name.
And he would hypnotize people.
Oh my.
And then they got rid of him eventually. And there was another sub that had 3 ears and could read people's mind and made their lives miserable because hers was, because nobody would like her.
Wow. This book is kind of deep in terms of looking at how people sometimes treat kids and stuff, I suppose, then too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, when you think about this, why do you think other kids might like this book?
Because I think they would like this book because it's funny, it's problem solving, and they always figure out a way to figure out how to stop things and how to make their day better.
One other thing that I liked about your description of the book is sometimes you look at a book and some people say, oh, that's all geared towards girls, or this is all geared towards guys. This book sounds like it's geared for anybody would love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's actually 2 other books. Do you want to share what the other books are called?
This one's called Wayside Gets a Little Stranger. It's the first book.
Okay. This is
the second.
Okay.
There's the third, and there's one more book called Wayside Cloud of Doom. That's the last one.
So you've read all 4?
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. So, I want to move away from this, and we hope that everyone does pay attention to Abigail. And again, we're going to promote you, Abigail. We're going to have your picture up all during the month of February at the Hillary Clinton Children's Library and at this library and libraries on all the elementary schools with your recommendation, with you showing your book. But let's jump into you just a little bit, okay? So you have brother, sister, mom, dad. Who's all part of your family?
My mom, my dad, my grandparents, my cousin, and my brother.
Okay, that's a group. How come brother was last? I'm just kidding you. I'm giving you a bad time. So let's jump into another thing. What is it that, like if you had a dream and everything could come to reality and you're, let's say, 25 years old, what would you like to be doing that would be your job, your career? What would you hope to be doing at 25?
Be playing in the WNBA and also building my career being an automotive engineer.
An automotive engineer. Now, what made you excited about that particular career?
Because when I realized a few years ago, I loved cars and I loved calling them. And whenever I would see like a Lamborghini or something like that, or a exotic car, I would get excited. And so I thought of making a car and making it affordable. So once I make it affordable, I have more people buying it.
So affordable, but then still have some of those really nice aspects of like a really fancy, expensive car. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Hey, final thing for you today. You get the chance to brag about your school, about Gibbs. Why is Gibbs such a great place?
Because I think Gibbs is such a great place because it is free. It is a good school for boys and girls and all different religions and
so it's all different cultures and nationalities. Yes. Everybody kind of blends in here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you you've had probably a bunch of teachers here that I know you don't want to totally single one out, but is there one that you want to say, boy, this teacher is just fantastic and I really appreciate her? Do you want to say something about that?
Yes, my second grade teacher, Miss Sims. She was nice, and whenever we would go to Voyager, she would let us go after we got our snack and our drink. She would let us go to her classroom, and we would eat our snack and sharpen our pencils. And then once we got done and we finished our homework, she let us just go outside with her second grade group.
Okay. Well, I know that'll mean a lot to her when she gets to hear this, but I think it's going to mean a lot to kids all over because we're going to push this out all over the district, and we actually do want to have others come up with your same thing that you've done. So at the end of this video, there's going to be a segment that we'll also add later on to show how you can turn in a recommendation to me so that I can find out what book you think we need to showcase, just like we've showcased Abigail. I could be coming to your school. I could be doing an interview just like I did with Abigail. You could have your picture just like Abigail is going to have all over the place, all of our elementaries and at the Hillary Clinton Children's Library. So if you have a great book and want to make a recommendation, you got to let us know, but you got to have some good reasons just like Abigail did, because when Abigail met me, boy, in November, she laid it out of why this is such a good book. And again, I think this is the first one, isn't it?
Yes.
The Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger, and that's your one that you most highly recommend.
Yes, and the Sideways Stories, because this is the one where they kept doing this, trying to figure out how to get rid of this. So this was the funniest one. That's
the funniest one. Okay, well, we got it covered, and Abigail has got us covered. Got a great book for us. Go check this one out. Get it at your library. Go to Cal's and go check out the Wayside School. That whole series. There's a whole bunch of books. Go check it out. Enjoy it like Abigail did. Go read, and then come tell me about a book that you love so that we can get you potentially on TV as well. Have a great day, everybody.